appreciate you attending today. I'm John Voorhees, and I am president of Layer 8 Training. And our presenter today is going to be Lena Hurst, who is one of our Citrix certified instructors. And so she will be starting in a couple minutes. Just a couple housekeeping items I want to clear up before we get going. First of all, there will be a Q&A at the end, so Lena's going to present for about 45 minutes or so, and then we'll have a Q&A. While the session is going on, you can enter your questions in the question portion of your dashboard. Once we get to the end, we will read your questions, and then Lena will answer them. Also, at the end of the webinar today, there will be a short survey for you to take, so we certainly appreciate you filling that out and taking the time to do that. And then we also are going to be recording the webinar today, and once the webinar is available on our website, you will receive a link via email where you can go and access that. So you'll be able to pick up the recording as well. So a little bit about Layer 8 Training. For those of you who aren't familiar with us, we are the largest Citrix authorized training partner in North America. We have 6 certified Citrix instructors on staff, including 2 master CTIs. We have the largest schedule in North America of open enrollment classes, both in public classroom and in live online. And you can go to our website and see that schedule, or you can also access our full schedule on the Citrix website at training.citrix.com. We do a lot of courseware development, so a number of the courses that you will take from us, we have also worked on the development of those. Lena has been instrumental in the development of the XenMobile class for Citrix that we will be discussing today. And we are actually the first calc to offer the XenMobile class in North America. We've got a lot of experience in delivering that, and so Lena is going to be bringing her experience with that class to you today in our webinar. In addition to Citrix training, we also do VMware, NetApp, Juniper, Checkpoint, and a few other things. So we are very involved in the networking training sector. So a little bit about Lena. Lena has a background in networking. She was a readiness manager with Citrix Systems for 4 years. She also has been a technical training manager with Juniper Networks. She has been a CTI for over 10 years and is one of the most sought-after CTIs in the world. Lena's skill set and background is outstanding. Anybody who's had the experience of taking a class with her, I'm sure already knows that. And then any of you who are attending today, if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend it. Lena holds a number of certifications with Citrix for virtualization, mobility, and networking. And is considered an expert in XenMobile. So I'm going to turn the class over to Lena now, and she will be going through all of the XenMobile content for you today. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Lena Hurst, and what we're going to be covering in this brief webinar is a high-level overview of the components for the XenMobile Enterprise Suite solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly run you through XenMobile. We'll take a look at the device manager. We'll take a look at the application controller. We'll briefly talk about our MDX applications that we have available for delivery to our mobile devices, how we integrate with ShareFile, and then finally a quick overview of the NetScaler gateway. Now when it comes to XenMobile, okay, it is obviously here to mobilize your business. There are quite a few moving parts within the complete solution. So as you look at these solutions, you need to determine what pieces you need and how you're going to implement them. There's always going to be several different ways to kind of accomplish what your goals are for your business or your company. So I'm going to do a quick run through. I'm also going to I've got a device manager and an app controller that I'm going to be showing you just some. Again, we only have 45 minutes, so just some very brief things so you can kind of see where you go in and can set restrictions and how those restrictions will then be delivered out to your mobile devices within your environment. So what is XenMobile? Well, it's an all-in-one everything you could possibly want to do for your mobile devices. Okay, so it is a complete stack for managing, securing your applications, securing your data, managing your devices, being able to track what's going on within your environment, being able to wipe a device if it's lost or stolen. So it does offer you a complete suite so that you can do within your environment or your corporation exactly what you want to do when it comes to working with mobile devices. So what problems is XenMobile going to help you solve? Well, first off, data management. Okay, so it's going to help you manage and secure your data. It can provide device encryption and authentication so that the device is encrypted again in case it wanders off on its own. We also offer app containerization and application level vault encryption on the device. So I don't have to encrypt the entire device. I can just encrypt those corporate applications where we're going to have sensitive information. And additionally, with that type of encryption, I don't even need to store the keys on the device itself. I can do back-end key management so that even if you had a very accomplished person who stole that device and was trying to get in there and compromise your key set, they could never gain access to that sensitive information. It's also going to allow me to manage my applications on the device. So again, we have to be concerned whenever we're delivering applications, corporate applications, out to our mobile users, what's going to happen with that information? Do they have sensitive emails? Do they have access to sensitive corporate information? We don't want that to get out, so we can basically set up our application management. Our app controller piece will allow you to basically control inter-application communication, so someone couldn't copy and paste something out of their corporate email onto Facebook. So we have complete control over how those applications are going to communicate and share information. This also allows them to have the Facebook application on their mobile device so that they don't have to worry about, you know, having that application there and that application gaining access to sensitive information either. Okay, we can also manage and control our devices via policies. So in addition to managing our application delivery, we can enforce a passcode on the devices. So again, if it's lost or stolen, someone would have to know the passcode to open it up. Or we can disable cameras, okay, or microphones, that type of behavior, so that when they're working on their mobile device, there's no possible you can't compromise the data that's on the mobile device. Okay, again, we can remotely lock a device if the user calls in and says, oh wait, you know, I was on a plane and I left it, I don't know what's going on, I'm going to try and find it. So we could lock it up, or we could even selectively wipe it. Now, selective wipe is a wonderful feature that allows me only to remove all of the corporate information from the device instead of, you know, wiping the entire device. So that's some of the things that we can do. Of course, we have quite a few components that are going to help me manage this solution. First off is the XenMobile Device Manager. Now, this is my mobile device management piece. This is where I'm going to implement device-level restrictions, like removing the camera or enforcing a passcode. You can almost think of it as your security piece for the device itself. Additionally, we have the XenMobile Application Controller. Okay, this is where I'm going to basically manage all of my applications. So from the application controller, I can manage not only mobile apps that I want to deliver out, but I can integrate that with my XenApp and Xen desktop environment and deliver those applications out to my mobile devices. We then have the NetScaler Gateway component. This is going to allow secure remote access into your environment from your mobile devices. It provides us with those micro VPNs as applications access your back-end corporation network. Okay, we have share file. Okay, so we have our data available to us from any mobile device, anywhere. Okay, so we have either cloud or on-premise storage. And of course, this is also going to provide nice security and file management. Additionally, ShareFile does integrate into your existing networking infrastructure. So if you already have SharePoint servers or other file servers out there that you would like integrated, we can basically add those connectors in, and users can have a one-stop shop for all of their file and data management. Lastly, we of course have our storefront. This is going to integrate with our application controller so that we can gain access to all of our XenApp and XenDesktop applications as well. Now there are 3 editions of XenMobile. Okay, we have the MDM edition, or the Device Manager edition, which is just for security type restrictions, includes the Device Manager, Gateway, the NetScaler connector, which is utilized for native ActiveSync functionality with your Exchange server. So if you want the NetScaler to handle connections for your ActiveSync, you can do that as well. And ShareFile Standard. Our App Edition includes the Application Controller, which is going to be our one-stop shop for everything applications, as well as the Gateway, Storefront, and ShareFile Standard. Now, of course, the XenMobile Enterprise Edition is going to include everything. So it's our complete suite of components, as well as you get ShareFile Enterprise. So here's a quick look at our components. So here we would see our end users connecting in. They would connect in via Works Home. These connections would come in through our gateway. They would hit the XenMobile server, XenMobile Device Manager server for all of their policies and restrictions. They would hit the XenMobile Application Controller for all of their application delivery. And of course, we also have our ShareFile and cloud services available for data management. So just briefly, what's new in XenMobile 9, since we all know this just barely came out. Okay, with the Device Manager component, we're picking up some more support for Windows Phone. We can deliver Wi-Fi and VPN configs to Windows. Okay, we have Apple Device Enrollment Program support, so iOS 7 can auto-enroll when users complete just a standard iOS initial config. Okay, so some nice features there. We have improved cluster config for the Device Manager. It's no longer going to require multicast session replication, so we've improved our redundancy. And we also changed our licensing, so you would get either local or remote Citrix licensing support. Additionally, some of the major features we get in XenMobile 9.0 have to do with our MDX toolkit and our ability to deliver applications. So our toolkit has been improved so we can automatically check for prereqs before we do application wrapping. Okay, of course right now to deploy apps to iOS 8, MDX wrapped apps must be rewrapped. Okay, so we also get some more brand new fabulous Works apps to help you improve your users' experience working on their mobile devices. So we have a new Works desktop, a new Works edit app, as well as a Works notes app. So let's start out with the first component, which is going to be the MDM or the XDM. It kind of switches names a lot. And this is the Device Manager. This is the one that we can kind of think of as our security piece. Okay, it is software that's going to secure, monitor, and manage all of your mobile devices. Okay, this is where we're going to deploy these profiles over the air by mobile operators, service providers, or enterprises. Okay, ours is called the XenMobile Device Manager, and it handles all of the functions within the life cycle of the device. So what exactly does it do? Well, it provides you the ability to control mobile devices. It pushes out policies and enforces them against your mobile devices. It can auto-configure devices. We have GPS functionality here, so I could locate a device. Okay, and as well as we provide quite a bit of support. Okay, we can deploy internal and third-party mobile applications. So if you don't have the app controller, but you would like to deploy an application, it does have the capacity. However, it does not have all of the nice policy functionality like our inter-application communication policies are not going to be available with the MDM. So if you're going to do a lot of application delivery, you're going to want the Enterprise Suite because you're going to want the app controller. Okay, it also gives us the capacity to selectively wipe devices, just removing corporate data. It can block devices based on them being rooted or jailbroken. Okay, and we do this by basically leveraging the APIs that the vendors provide us to control these mobile devices. Makes life easier for IT. Everybody wants their email on their phone now. Okay, so and that's a huge management piece for people within IT. So we can configure both corporate and BYOD settings to integrate into IT, and you can actually specify corporate devices when you enroll them. So I can actually flag it when I send the invitation so it automatically recognizes a corporate device and implements, say, more restrictive policies on a corporate device than it would on a bring your own type device. So we have all the functionality of that. It integrates with Active Directory. Okay, so we have basically we're deploying out to Active Directory groups when we deploy our XenMobile packages out to our mobile users. Okay, we can provide help desk functions like remote support if a user is having trouble. Okay, we can hop right in there and see what they're doing and help them out. And it can provide me information on my device. It can do application inventory, software inventories, can tell you your device security and compliance status. Okay, it can deploy apps, policies, and configurations automatically over the air. We can also decommission a device if it's lost, stolen, or the user left our company. Okay, we can take security action in the event of loss, theft, or user departure. So some of the most common types of policies that we will see with the XenMobile Device Manager are security level policies, things like passcode enforcement, disallowing simple passcodes, setting auto lock times, okay, defining minimum and maximum password ages and lengths. We can do restriction policies, things like disabling installations of particular applications. I can basically blacklist an application and say you cannot have WikiLeaks installed on your mobile device. I could do things like disabling hardware, camera, microphones, okay, all sorts of things like that on the mobile device itself. I can disable things like iCloud, Google Play, Application Store, and I can implement both Wi-Fi and VPN policies, which again is another really nice feature. Basically, I can predefine your Wi-Fi networks within the corporation, and then based on a user being connected to an internal Wi-Fi, I can allow them more access, okay, to the back-end resources and less access if they're not connected to one of my defined Wi-Fi networks within there. So we have a lot of flexibility. Let's take a look at the app controller. So the next component is the app controller. Now this is a little Linux-based server. You're going to throw it up on whatever virtualization solution you like. You know you all love XenServer. That has to be your favorite because this is a Citrix product. But you can put it on VMware or Hyper-V. Okay, it's going to go ahead and secure and manage and control all your applications that are being delivered on the mobile devices. Now the types of applications we can deliver are pretty broad, but we really like what we refer to as an MDX app. MDX apps gives me all that functionality of inter-application communication, being able to control all components of an application, how it's going to talk to other applications on the device. So this gives me a lot of control over the application once it has been wrapped into our MDX technology. Now MDX itself is a containerization technology. Okay, so you get the toolkit and we provide MDX apps from Citrix. We've got our whole suite already wrapped up for you within MDX, or you can wrap your own. If you have mobile devices or mobile applications that you would like to deliver out to your mobile devices, we can certainly wrap them up into MDX, and then you get all of that added functionality of being able to control how that application is going to behave on the mobile device. Okay, you can also write your own. We provide an SDK so that if you wanted to grow your own or build your own little MDX app to deploy out to your mobile users, you could do that as well. Okay, so again, your app controller is your one-stop shop for all things for all application management. Okay, so what are some of the things that it does? Well, we do have some application security risks on a handheld. Maybe, you know, corporate email or corporate whatever is sensitive information. With our app controller, we can deliver our MDX apps and implement our MDX policy controls on those applications. Okay, we also might have complex management issues across multiple environments. Okay, how many times does a user have to log in to get to a certain app? Well, the app controller has the capacity to provide us with a complete single sign-on solution as well. So users, once they get their apps, they don't have to re-enter their credentials, and we can provide single sign-on also for things like web or SaaS apps. So if you've got Salesforce in your environment, I can basically have the app controller manage Salesforce on the mobile devices and provide all of your sales team with single sign-on capabilities to Salesforce. Additionally, to the single sign-on capabilities, it also has the capacity to provision accounts within those web and SaaS apps. So you have a new guy comes in, he joins your sales team, you put him in the Sales Active Directory group. He magically, via the app controller, is going to automatically create him an account and a password into Salesforce, and it's going to manage all of his single sign-on. So we can get this nice and streamlined across the board. Okay, so the app controller can deliver your applications. Okay, it delivers them securely and secure them on the device once they've arrived. Email on iOS or Android devices. We have secure internet browsing. Okay, we can impose policy controls on iOS and Android apps, and we can control data access. We can enable SAML and Active Directory identity-based management if we would like. So we have a full suite of functionality within the app controller. Now the types of applications that we work with within App Controller include everything. I already said it's your one-stop shop. So we have our native apps, so anything we want to natively deliver, iOS or Android mobile apps, hopefully wrapped up in MDX. Okay, we have our HDX apps from XenApp or XenDesktop. Once I have the app controller in place, I can integrate it with my storefront, and those applications get delivered to my mobile device as well. Okay, and I can basically secure my single sign-on web or SaaS apps or anything I want. So a little bit more on MDX. Okay, we want to be able to lock down our applications, and that is what MDX does for us. Okay, so users do want the mobile apps that they know and love. Okay, but you need to maintain this information and make sure that everything on the mobile device is secure in case it was ever compromised in any way. So we do provide MDX, the ability to do MDX wrapping. Okay, so you have an unmodified mobile app, we have our app preparation tool, and then it wraps it all up into MDX. What we get by taking the time to do this is we get encrypted local storage, we get micro VPNs through the Netscaler gateway, we get app-specific lock and wipe functionality, inter-app communication policies, conditional access policies, so you can only open this application when you're connected to one of our internal Wi-Fi networks. Okay, and enterprise identity with single sign-on without recoding any of those mobile apps. We just wrap them right up. Okay, of course, we do have a whole bunch of apps that are already available. You can download all of our Works suite of applications from Citrix.com, so things like WorksMail, WorksWeb, and ShareFile. Okay, so you can go grab them and download them. And there you can see we have WorksWeb and for both iOS and Android, and you can go grab the applications that you would like to use within your environment. Okay, or you can wrap them up yourself. The wrapping tool, we can prepare apps with our toolkit. We have wizard-based GUI to do so, and we also can do command lines for batches or automated builds if necessary. The next component we're going to talk about is ShareFile, because this is a nice way to manage all of your data within your environment. Okay, so it is an enterprise class cloud-based file sharing service. Okay, of course, you can store and synchronize files securely across all of your devices. So everything is located up in the cloud. You can have on-premise storage for your users, as well as we can integrate our existing infrastructure, our file sharing infrastructure that is already in place. Again, if you have SharePoint servers, we can add in those connectors and we can point right out to them. And so this now becomes our one-stop shop for all things data. Okay, so you can share your files securely within or out of the organization. We can share large files, so we can store files up to 100 gigs in size, which is very nice because we all know everyone has exchange restrictions or email restrictions on attachment sizes. Okay, so you can manage and control all of your file and data sharing services. You can set expirations on files and folders. You can allow users to add in their own connectors. It's very nice. So it's great for everybody, both users and IT. Okay, so for IT, we have things like storage zone and storage zone connectors that can point out to our existing infrastructure. We have centralized management of all of my data now. I have security policies, nice reporting and notification and security features. We can do custom branding within ShareFile, and we can do on-demand sync for virtual desktops. Users love it because they have their data sync tools and apps for any device. We have plugins for Outlook, Windows Explorer, Mac Finder, so it actually looks just like a regular folder to these users. They don't have to learn anything new. Okay, we have large file support. We have built-in mobile content editors, so if I am on the go, I can pull my file down. I need to make a quick change to it. I don't have to download it, edit it, and then re-upload it. I have a built-in mobile editor, and I can just make that quick change right up on my share file. We can provide mobile access to network shares and SharePoint. Okay, and we have a simple, intuitive, and collaborative experience, and of course users can manage all of their own settings. Okay, so XenMobile with ShareFile provides us a platform on our mobile devices for users to update, share, and store their data. Data will be shared in a secure, auditable, redundant, and highly available environment with centralized administrative control. Okay, to ensure file security, ShareFile requires users to send sharing links from ShareFile where you centralized everything. Okay, and applications can use ShareFile as their data storage location simply by using the RESTful API. And we have native ShareFile mobile apps for easy access on pretty much across the board what everyone's using these days. iPhone, Androids, Blackberries, Windows 7, iPad, Windows 8. Okay, we also have a mobile optimized ShareFile website. Okay, so we can access, share, and sync files from any device. Okay, we can access data in our existing networks. And we have our built-in mobile editor for on-the-go editing, and we can also provide offline access and editing as well, and PDF annotation. Okay, the next component I'm going to be talking about, and then I'm going to show you guys some stuff, is the NetScaler. So the NetScaler is included, the gateway is included in the XenMobile suite. It is an application delivery controller. Okay, it provides a lot of benefits within a XenMobile solution. So we get scalability, we have added security. It comes in two offerings. Basically, we have an MPX, which is a physical appliance, or we have our VPXs, which are our virtual appliances. So depending on what you would like or how you would like to implement your NetScaler, it's going to provide secure access from your mobile devices into your internal network. Okay, so the gateway itself is a VPN designed to securely deliver applications and virtual desktops. So what we're going to get with the gateway is we could potentially use the full tunnel, the full SSL VPN tunnel. XenMobile and Apple App Controller, more appropriately, heavily utilizes the micro VPN and secure browse functionality to provide secure access to our internal network. It gives us a single access point to come through within our mobile solutions, and we have application level policies using smart access technology as well. So it is a licensed feature of the NetScaler, and it is a component of our XenMobile Enterprise solution. Okay, XenMobile with NetScaler, the gateway is not required. However, it is highly recommended, and you absolutely have to have it for features like micro VPNs. Okay, it can enhance your XenMobile solution by acting as a front-end load balancer for the different components. It does caching, so it can cache information and reserve it out. It provides SSL offload functionality, which eliminates your servers on the back end from having to perform lots of SSL transactions, we can basically move that to the NetScaler. And we get a single point of access to servers, applications, and other network resources. So finally, let's take a look at all the stuff we have with our XenMobile Enterprise solution. So we're going to deliver any application to any device with full security, easy for users, and easy for IT. With data, we have ShareFile. Okay, we have a Dropbox problem, follow me data, full productivity. Okay, we have our, we have email capacity, so we have full security using our Works Mail product, but if you don't want to use Works Mail, you can also use your native Exchange apps and use the NetScaler connector to take advantage of your native mail applications as well. We have our secure application ecosystem. We have our MDX application policies. We can wrap up custom apps. We can interact and share information between apps or not share information between apps. And we also have the ability with our web and SaaS apps to provide secure single sign-on capacity as well as account provisioning potentially. We have full micro VPN capacity, so these applications are going to be fully secured as mobile devices access them on the back-end resources, and we can basically mobilize our intranet. Okay, so here are all of our components in place, and of course you pick which ones are going to work best for you. But here you see your little user with his mobile application over here. We're coming in through the gateway potentially with the active sync filter and the connector in place. Here's all of our security and restriction policies coming from our mobile device manager. All of our applications are being delivered via our application controller, which can optionally be integrated with Storefront and provide access to XenApp and XenDesktop. And then, of course, all of our data could be managed via ShareFile. So very quickly, I want to show you just a little bit within here. What I'm looking at here is, in fact, the mobile device manager. So here is my restriction piece. So if I hop over here to my dashboard, here you can see I've got some devices in place. So we have an Android device enrolled, an iOS, and a Windows phone. So we have a nice little dashboard here. This dashboard is completely customizable with whatever information you're most interested in seeing. So let's take a look at how I might deploy a restriction out to a mobile device. Well, the first thing I need to do is set up my restriction. Okay, so when we start to build our mobile restrictions out, okay, we first have to pick what type of device are these restrictions going to be for. So in this situation, I selected that I would like to use an iOS device, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new configuration. Now, one thing to note is that between different devices, you're going to have different options. So when I come in, you know, you're going to kind of drill down in, but depending on what things we can actually control, which is entirely based on what things the vendor is allowing us control. So we have to leverage their APIs to basically provide that control. So it does vary from device to device, but we're going to go ahead and select an iOS device here and a new configuration. Now here I can set a variety of different restrictions and configurations. So here I can enforce passcodes. Okay, here's Wi-Fi and VPN, AirPlay, AirPrint, Mail. So you can kind of see here just from this, we have quite a lot we can do with our iOS devices. I'm going to go ahead and implement a restriction. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. And we also have the ability to allow the users to remove their own profiles, okay, or we can set removal dates. Hop over to my functionality here. Here we can see all of the restrictions, what we're allowing and not allowing, and here, of course, I can remove the camera, so I'm disallowing the use of the camera. Okay, additionally, and of course I don't have time to go through everything, here's my iCloud restrictions, my security restrictions that are available with iOS. Okay, here I could basically allow the use of YouTube or iTunes Store. So again, you get a lot of functionality here. So I'm going to go ahead and create my little restriction here. So now I have my no camera restriction created. Now, once this is created, it's not doing anything because within the XenMobile Device Manager, we actually deploy packages out to our mobile users. So I can now put this restriction into a package to deploy it. And I can do a lot more than just configurations into packages. I can add in things like software inventories or SharePoint servers if I want into a package. So let's go take a look at our deployment packages. So now that I have my configuration built, okay, now I can basically select that I would like to create a new package and add in my restriction configuration. So I'm going to set up a new package here. Oops, typing skills. Okay, and here's where I select what Active Directory groups are going to be receiving this. So we'll say all domain users that have iOS. Okay, and under this resources section, this is where I get to add all the stuff I want into my little package, including that configuration that I just created. So there's my no camera little configuration. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in, but as you can see, I can also add in branding policies. Okay, I could add in files. I could do a software inventory on a device. Okay, and add that into the package. Once I've added everything that I want to my little package, okay, then I select when I would like this package deployed out to my mobile users. Okay, then I get into my more advanced filtering capabilities. So maybe I want this to go to all iOS users that are domain users, but I've got some additional device properties that I would like to limit this deployment to. So here we can build out our filters so that we can control exactly where this package and which devices which devices are going to receive this package. And there we have our little package. Okay, now our little package is ready to be deployed. Okay, and if I hop over to my package, okay, I can deploy it out to any devices that are enrolled within my environment. And you can see it's deploying it out. So we have the no camera restriction now being deployed out within my XenMobile environment. The next thing I want to show you very quickly is the app controller, because we're going to see some application delivery as well. So my MDM and my app controller here are fully integrated. Additionally, here's all the applications that are going to be available on my mobile devices. So you can basically control or look at them in accordance with the base operating system that they're going to target, or you can do all apps here. So here's where we can see web and SaaS apps. I can add in web links. I can add in public application stores, so users can go grab them out of the Google Play Store, okay, and grab their own apps. Okay. And here, down here on the bottom, and this is the piece I want to show you, we see Windows apps. Now this is where I point to my storefront servers. So I actually have XenApp and XenDesktop up in this environment, and you can see here that I'm just going to point out to storefront and provide the standard path. There we got PN agent config XML. Okay, so what you're going to see here in just a minute when we go through the final steps here is applications, and you will notice that we do not have Adobe here. So Adobe is actually going to be delivered to the mobile device via XenApp and XenDesktop. Now I actually had to do my enrollment on my slides for the enrollment demo because it takes a long time to get everything on a first-time enrollment. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. So here's what enrollment is going to look like here. Yes, that is my dog. His name is Dalton. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Works Home. So I go grab the Works Home app, and then I point to my XenMobile environment. So here I'm using an FQDN to get me into my XenMobile environment. Now, when you actually use the MDM and the app controller, you'll likely either use email enrollment invitations, because your users are not going to be very good at this. They already have all the information in them, and all they have to do is click a link, and you can do either email or SMS. You can totally customize these invitations that go out to your users. Okay, so there we go to, whoops. I could do that. I don't know why that just went away. There we go. Huh. All right. The next thing that's going to happen, it's going to say, oh, do you want to enroll this device? And you say yes. And then you provide your username and password. Okay, from there it's going to install a series of profiles. So here we see it's installing a Citrix XenMobile CA. Keep in mind you can deploy your root certs right out through your MDM, so they hit and the users just install them, so everything is trusted. So you'll notice we're clicking to install certificates. Okay. And we have our profile services being installed. And we're installing all of our profiles as we move through. And like I said, I just put these on slides because it just takes less time. And there we see our MDM config is all handled. And then, of course, Works Home would like to use your current location. This is for our GPS location functionality or geofencing functionality, which we have on the MDM. So you can allow or not allow. Okay, now I'm done. I'm all enrolled. Okay, and here you can see that I'm in my Works Home. And again, this is very similar. It's to Storefront. So you just kind of see, like when we connect into Storefront, I want to pick the applications that I want. Obviously, we don't forcibly install applications on mobile devices. We don't know how much space they have or if they want that app. You can forcibly install applications if you would like, say, to forcibly install WorksMail or WorksWeb or some of your corporate core applications. You can. Typically, we would let the user do that. Now, in this environment, I have forcibly installed WorksMail and WorksWeb, so those are going to be forcibly installed in this demo. And I'm going to go ahead and select that I want to install Adobe Reader. So here you see, there's Adobe, okay, and we saw that it is actually not on that app controller. This is coming from my XenApp environment. So now I click Next. I would like to add in Adobe Reader. Now I've added Adobe Reader to my Works Home location. Okay, and additionally here we see it's forcibly installing Works Web, and this is WorksMail right here. So because I did have a required installation for those. And I've also received my application or my camera restriction. So I did a quick before and after. So here you see that the camera was here and now it's gone. Okay, so there's my restriction. So that brings me kind of to the end of this presentation. So we can now move into Q&A.
All right, super. Thanks, Lena. We do have a couple questions from the audience. And so first question we've gotten is, with XenMobile 9, is there any policy in XenMobile that will manage or perform re-authentication when a user leaves a corporate Wi-Fi network and moves on to a non-corporate Wi-Fi or a 3G service?
Absolutely. And you can do it in a variety of different places. You can force re-authentication for particular applications. You can set up all of those policies are available. And I don't know if they're available for all devices, but I am aware of them on iOS and Android.
Okay, super. The other question we got, actually a couple people asked the same thing, is whether or not we will send out the slide deck. I can answer that. We don't send out the slide deck for the presentations, but The recording of this webinar, which includes the audio and the whiteboard slide deck, is available on our website. We will be sending out a link to that. We had a follow-up question to the last question that we just asked and answered, and that is that functionality on MDM or on App Controller?
The reauthentication? Both. Yes. Both. You can do it. It depends on how you want to do it. So if I want to do it on the MDM and I just want to forcibly reauthenticate, if you switch Wi-Fi's or whatever, I can go in and enforce that as a restriction for the entire device. Or if I would like to force reauthentication just for a particular application, I can do it for a particular application if that application is MDX wrapped. So you get a lot of control about how you're forcing that reauthentication within the environment.
Super. Okay. Again, I had just had somebody buzz in and ask about slides again. We don't send out the slide decks, but we do have a recording of this webinar that will be available on our website. We will be sending out a link to that, and that will include both the audio and the whiteboarded slide deck. So you should be getting that shortly after we complete the webinar. Once the webinar ends, again, there will be a short survey. We certainly appreciate if you will take the time to fill that out for us. Are there any additional questions that anybody wants to put in before we close out for the day? All right, looks like that's it on the Q&A. Actually, no, I'm sorry, we got one more question. So somebody got in under the wire there. Question we have is it recommended to use WorksPen with two-factor authentication?
What?
WorksPen with two-factor authentication.
You can.
Okay.
I mean, if you need two-factor authentication, you certainly can set it up that way. If you've got the full enterprise solution, probably I would set up all my two-factor stuff on the NetScaler side through the VPN, and then anything, since they'll be accessing through the VPN, then you get your two-factor there for everything, if that's a requirement for your corporation.
Okay. Now, is that a recommended practice, or is it just something that's possible to do?
It's possible, and I don't know that Citrix has a position on recommended or not because it's typically dependent upon the corporation. Some corporations do require that you have two-factor and some don't. So, I mean, it depends on what you're actually providing access to. If it's sensitive information, I would probably set up two-factor on the NetScaler, or I'd do SAML, or some of our more secure options. If we're going to be basically handing out a lot of sensitive or confidential information out to our mobile users, then I would definitely, obviously, take security steps. But if you're just, having them access to intranet sites or stuff that's not as secure, then you probably wouldn't need it. So that's going to be dependent upon the corporate policies for the corporation.
Okay, thank you. So from a best practice standpoint, then it's really going to be dependent on what your corporate policies are.
Yes. But, I mean, it's certainly easy to do, and we fully support it. So.
Okay, super. All right, well, it looks like that's it for our Q&A for today. I want to thank everybody for attending the webinar, and I want to thank Lena for a fantastic presentation. The webinar link to the recording will be sent out to you, and there will be a short survey here at the end of the webinar. Thanks for attending. And just for everybody's information, there is if you're interested in the training on XenMobile, we are also offering a promotion with Layer 8 through the end of this year for a free Amazon $500 gift card if you take the XenMobile class. So if you are interested, please go to the Layer 8 website, layer8training.com, and you'll find the sign-up there and any other information that you need. Again, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in one of our classes or a future webinar. Have a great day.